Greetings and welcome. This is Rajiv Makhni and the show is your absolute favorite show, the Cell Guru Show. And yes, I'm back from Vietnam and yes, I've got all the cool stuff from there, including our top story, which is the Vivo X90 Pro. Now, we did some insane, crazy things out there, but now we're going to review it for you right here. This is a hands-on deep review. Vivo's all-new flagship series, the ultimate camera experience developed with Zeiss. 1-inch primary camera sensor is the big one. MediaTek Dimensity 9200 chipset is the other big one. And then, of course, I think the thing that takes this phone completely to a new level is the Vivo V2 chip. 120 watt of fast charging, beautiful looking phone. So lots to talk about. And then we'll also talk to the Vivo and Zeiss team. We were able to get all of them together to find out that this is the best camera phone and maybe the best flagship phone. Then what do they have to say about it? Then we'll also review the Samsung A54, mid-range Samsung smartphone. Design is pretty similar to a flagship phone from Samsung. Can you make out which one it could be? 6.4-inch AMOLED display, Exynos 1380 chipset, triple camera setup on this, 5000 mAh battery, an IP67 rating, Corning Gorilla Glass front and back, so pretty good going. Then we'll review a game, the Rocket League Sideswipe. Now, this is the mobile version of the very classic PC game. Many of you may remember it, Rocket League. Combination of football and driving. And for those who've never played it, sounds odd, but it's a great amount of fun. Multiplayer game, great to play with friends, whole lot of fun. And a whole lot of fun when we get started with the Cell Guru Show. And we'll start off first with all the news coming in from the world of mobiles.
OnePlus has come out with their first ever tablet, the OnePlus Pad. The much-awaited pad boasts of a 12-inch display, the MediaTek Dimensity 9000 chipset, 12GB RAM, 144Hz display, a massive 9510 mAh battery, and a whole lot more. Along with the pad, a magnetic keyboard and a stylus will go on sale separately. The OnePlus Pad is available for pre-order starting 28th April with prices starting at $37,999. There is some great news for Genshin Impact fans. Honkai's Star Rail marks another release from Hoyoverse, the studio behind the hit game Genshin Impact and Honkai Impact 3rd, touted as one of the most fun and demanding games. Honkai Star Rail is currently available to play on mobile devices. While fans of Genshin Impact and similar mobile games will recognize several of the systems in Star Rail, its designers take this game in a new direction by blending turn-based combat with a more linear dungeon exploration, rather than giving players an open world. The game is available to download on the Play Store and App Store for free.
Our top story today is the Vivo X90 Pro. Now remember, two of these phones have been released, the Vivo X90 and the Pro. But we'll today talk about the Vivo X90 Pro. Now this is a 6.78-inch AMOLED display phone, 120Hz refresh rate, absolutely stunning screen. But it's really about the camera. This has been co-developed with Zeiss, which has a 1-inch primary camera sensor. A lot of the color and the art of Zeiss that comes in out here, including things like profile and portrait flares and everything else. 50 megapixel plus 50 megapixel plus 12 megapixel camera setup. 12GB of RAM, which of course you can boost out to another 8GB also. And the price point starts off pretty well for a super flagship, $84,999.
Vivo has launched their all-new flagship series, consisting of the X90 and the X90 Pro. Known for their superior imaging technology, Vivo has partnered with Zeiss to develop the camera system on this year's phones. The flagship segment is a tough one to crack, with all phone manufacturers bringing in their A-game. But Vivo seems to have packed this phone with some extremely impressive hardware and software, especially in the camera department. Let's have a look at the Vivo X90 Pro and see if it has what it takes to steal the show. Vivo has chosen to go with the vegan leather back in place of the glass or ceramic finish that we see on most flagships today. Not only does it look good, it offers great grip. It also keeps away smudges and those micro scratches that we all hate. The camera module is circular and hosts 3 lenses. It protrudes quite a bit, which gives you a feel for the camera packs without even using it. We see the Zeiss T-Star coating on the camera module, which is protected by Corning Gorilla Glass. The Zeiss branding on the phone looks quite nice. There's a strip running below the camera module which holds the tagline of the phone and mentions the Vivo Zeiss partnership. On the front end of the phone, we see Vivo's 3D curved glass display. The selfie camera is housed in a punch hole and the display is protected by short sensation glass. Overall, we love the design of this phone. It's fresh, premium and stands out amongst other flagship phones that go for a more traditional finish. Now it would be a shame if we wasted any more time in talking about the camera performance of this phone. The primary camera is a 50 megapixel Sony IMX989. Now that is a 1-inch sensor, the largest sensor that you can get in a smartphone camera. You also get a 50 megapixel portrait f1.6 lens as well as a 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera. But that's not where Vivo has stopped. Vivo has also introduced a Pro imaging chip V2. Now that chip helps in AI acceleration as well as image processing. All of this sounds amazing, right? Well, it's even better in action. Daylight photography is an absolute breeze for this phone. The primary camera takes detailed, noiseless pictures with high color accuracy. With the Zeiss mode turned on, the picture delivers true to life saturation and white balance. The dynamic range is quite wide as well, giving you details in the darkest of shadows as well as in the highlights. The portrait lens is a 2x zoom lens with an f-stop of 1.6. What this means is you get nice shallow depth of field images with the natural bokeh. We got some amazing results from this lens, especially coupled with the Zeiss Cineflare portrait option. The 12 megapixel ultra-wide lens too does a great job and you get perfectly straight edges. So the ultra-wide doubles as a macro lens with a focusing distance of as close as 4 centimeters. The 32 megapixel selfie camera is remarkably good as well. If selfies are your game, you're gonna love the different filters and modes available. The sharpness, detail and contrast is quite perfect too. The zero shutter lag feature ensures that there's no delay between you pressing the shutter and the image getting captured, so you don't have to worry about missing a single moment. Now we could go on for hours and hours talking about the features that this camera system packs. From 8K video recording to a night sports mode with zero shutter lag, or Zeiss's architecture and landscape mode. The point being, this camera system is absolutely top-notch. Now if we had to nitpick, we would say that an optical zoom greater than 2x would have been nice to have, but a dedicated portrait lens is a great addition. The X90 Pro sports a 6.78-inch AMOLED display which supports FHD+ resolution, has a 120Hz refresh rate and 1300 nits of peak brightness. The display is HDR10+ certified and makes for a great viewing experience. The colors are nice and punchy, the sharpness is great and the display is bright enough even under direct sunlight. The speaker system is a stereo setup. You get a front-firing speaker on top and the other speaker at the bottom of the phone. The audio quality was loud and clear, making the phone a great multimedia device. The phone is powered by the flagship MediaTek Dimensity 9200. So this phone is a powerhouse when it comes to performance as well. The additional Pro imaging chip V2 not only helps with camera processes but also with display, so you can expect the phone to handle the most graphic-intensive games with relative ease. Paired with 12GB of RAM, multitasking and operations in the background run smoothly. We played Honkai Star Rail and Asphalt on maxed out settings and had a great time with it, barring the drop in battery. The phone draws its power from a 4870 mAh split cell design battery. Now this may not be the biggest battery out there, but it supports 120 watt fast charging, which quickly fires up your phone from 0% to 50% in just 8 minutes. That is lightning fast. Just a few minutes of charging should get you through most of the day. Vivo has delivered one of the best flagship smartphones out there, backed by solid performance, a great entertainment system and ultra-fast charging. Priced at 84,999, if you're someone who enjoys photography and would love to have a phone that would take great pictures anytime, any place, then the Vivo X90 Pro is the one to consider.
And we move on now to talking to some very interesting people from Vivo and Zeiss. We'll meet Vikas Tagra, he's the head of product management, Vivo India. Keshav Chugh, he's product manager, camera R&D, Vivo India. And Oliver, senior smartphone technology manager, Zeiss. Now, we spoke to them a lot about what they actually had to put in to bring out a phone like this, the collaboration between them all, what they think is really, really special. Welcome to a very special segment where we get to talk about the absolutely brilliant Vivo X90 series. So very quickly, I'm going to start off with you. Lots of incredible features. Camera, technology being taken to the absolute forefront, right? Tell us a little bit about the 2 or 3 things that you think you've really set new standards.
I think the first thing first, I will say the Zeiss 1-inch sensor, because that's a significant achievement of putting that into a smartphone, right? And that's one of the revolution in hardware. And what it does, so consumers can enjoy low light videos and low light photography. I think there's no external equipments required. They can just hold our X90 series and enjoy low light photography, and the courtesy the Zeiss 1-inch sensor. Second big thing, because our consumer expectations is too high when it comes to the photography overall in the smartphone. We have put in our own independent chip. We call it as Pro Imaging Chip V2. I think that's another revolutionary thing, because not many phones out there have got 2 chips, 2 powerhouses in one phone, right? So we had to put another chip to take care of these again low light videos, and even it enhances the display experience and helps in gaming, right? If you talk about the features like extreme videos, right, and night sports mode, to enable this we have put in the 0 shutter speed, right? That's only possible for in the professional cameras, right? Lot of algorithms, lot of optimizations to be done to get that night sports mode, or let's say even the astrophotography, right?
So lots of stuff with what Vivo is really doing is playing with incredible hardware, but supporting it with a completely different level of magical algorithm play, and all of it mostly in real time, right? Tell us a little bit about what are the big jumps in that particular field. What have you done with computational photography?
Computationally wise, this is a huge leap. Like Vikas mentioned, we have the V2 chip now, which enables us to run more algorithms in the background. So for example, for portraits, of course we have a bigger sensor and a better hardware now, but we are also complementing it with the algorithms like AI HD, AI Skin, and also like running algorithms for sports mode and night mode.
Your partnership with Vivo has been game-changing, both I think for both sides as partners. What did you do special for the X90 series that you're very proud of, and which consumers will immediately be able to get real time? It's not just, oh, there it is on the phone and I don't know how to use it. They'll actually get results as they use it.
I would say a very special thing is that with X90 series we are now starting to leave the boundaries of physics and optics, because we have now this meaningful combination of very powerful hardware, a very powerful camera, and algorithms and AI that enables us to do things with a camera that were not able before. And now we are really entering a new era of photography with the X90.
So gentlemen, thank you so much for talking with us. We've done the review, we've spoken to you, we found out a little bit more about what the phone is about, what all has gone into from your side to make this happen. Let's take a quick break right now. On the show, when we come back, lots more happening. Let's review now the Samsung A54. Very interesting phone. A lot of people saying it looks exactly like a flagship phone that Samsung had released very recently. But this is a mid-range smartphone, 6.4-inch AMOLED display. Samsung Exynos 1380 chipset in this triple camera setup, 5000 mAh battery, 25-watt charging. A little expensive for what it offers, but it does offer a whole lot. Prices start at about 39,000 rupees.
Samsung has had quite the year owing to the success of their flagship smartphone, the S23 Ultra, which is hands down one of the best phones of the year. The challenge for Samsung now is to transfer the same DNA that the S23 Ultra has into their phones across various segments. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Samsung A54, Samsung's bid to win the market in the highly competitive mid-range segment, and to see if it is a worthy competitor. The design of the phone has taken clear inspiration from the S23 Ultra with a similar camera layout. The back, though, has been given a glass finish as opposed to the matte finish in the previous generation. Kudos to Samsung for using Corning Gorilla Glass 5 to protect the back. The only downside of the glass is the amount of fingerprint smudges it collects. We tested the violet color of the phone, which did a good job at hiding smudges. The phone is a little thick, but it provides good grip. We get a USB-C port at the bottom along with a speaker grill and mic. On the top, we get a secondary mic as well as a hybrid SIM tray. While a lot of companies depend on unique designs to set phones apart in this category, Samsung has kept it quite simple. On the business end of the phone, we get a 6.4-inch OLED display, which is just about the perfect size. The screen does have bezels, but they're uniform on 3 sides and has a marginally thicker chin. The front of the phone too is protected by Corning Gorilla Glass 5. The screen supports 1080p resolution and has a peak brightness of 1000 nits, which is pretty good in all conditions, indoor as well as under direct sunlight. The screen also comes with a 120Hz refresh rate, though you only get an adaptive and standard option and cannot make 120Hz your default refresh rate. The colors on the display unit are nice and vivid with HDR capabilities on YouTube. Coupled with the loud stereo speakers and Dolby Atmos support, the viewing experience on this phone is quite pleasant, making this a great device if you like to binge on content while commuting. The phone is powered by an upgraded Samsung Exynos 1380, which is definitely an upgrade from the previous year's edition of the phone, but just about at par with the Snapdragon 778G. There is only an 8GB RAM variant with a choice of 128GB or 256GB for storage. The LPDD R4X RAM and the UFS 3.1 storage are fast enough to offer quick response times. The phone performs daily tasks quite well. You could do a bit of gaming too. Playing heavier games on low to medium graphics is no issue, though after a significant amount of gaming, you might feel the device heat up in places. Samsung has been exceptionally good at camera technology, and this phone is no different. The A54 uses a triple camera setup comprising a 50MP primary camera, a 12MP ultra-wide camera and 5MP macro camera. The major upgrade here is the primary sensor, while the other two cameras have been carried forward from the previous model. The camera app is quite easy to navigate. You get a Pro mode as well if you're interested in having more control over the imaging process. The primary camera does a great job at taking pictures. The colors are vibrant and saturated. The dynamic range on offer is quite great as well. There's some sharpening that can be seen, but nothing that stands out too much. The case for the ultra-wide camera too is quite similar. The images are contrasty and punchy, and color consistency between the lenses is pretty great too. The ultra-wide camera's 5MP sensor isn't mind-blowing, but it produces decent color and detail. We would say it's perfectly usable as opposed to many other macro cameras that we see. The selfie camera is a 12MP sensor that does a good job. The phone is powered by a 5000 mAh battery and supports 25-watt charging, which isn't all that impressive. To our disappointment, you don't get a charging brick in the box. The charging speeds are decent, and with a Samsung charger, you could juice the phone from 0 to 100 in about an hour. The A54 runs on One UI based on Android 13. The interface is quite clean and quick, and you get a fair amount of customization options. Samsung offers up to 4 years of Android updates and 5 years of security patches, which is extremely impressive. What is equally impressive is the IP67 rating that the phone has bagged. Durability seems to be Samsung's play with this device, considering the Corning Gorilla Glass protection, the IP67 rating, and the staggering 4 years of Android updates. To sum it up, Samsung has done a great job of upgrading the A53. This phone promises durability and reliability. It would surely make for a great daily driver that can do a little bit of everything while offering good camera performance. With prices starting at 38,999 rupees without bank offers, the phone is on the pricier end of the segment and faces tough competition with solid phones such as the outgoing Pixel 6a, the Nothing Phone 1 on one end and the OnePlus 11R on the other. We expect the phone to be a great choice if the price tag was not as heavy.
Let's move on now to our gaming review. This is the Rocket League Sideswipe, mobile version of the classic PC game Rocket League. I have played this game all through for so many years. 2D gameplay, but I love it. Quick 2-minute matches, great in-game physics. You've got to try it, and you've got to try it with your friends. Available for free on iOS and Android. Right after this review is over, I want you to go and try this game.
Rocket League has been a staple for every gamer since its launch in 2015. It blends the elements of sports and cars. I mean, who wouldn't love that? If you've ever found yourself wishing you could play Rocket League on the go, fear not. Rocket League Sideswipe is here. We have been playing Rocket League Sideswipe for some time now, and we are completely hooked. To make the game easily playable across all devices, Psyonix has decided to make it 2D, which means that as a player you get a side view of the pitch, hence the name Sideswipe. Because of the side view, there are a few features of the PC version that won't work the same way here. For example, you can't crash into other cars. Only the ground, walls and the ball can affect the motion of the car. And since the goal can't be horizontal here, it is vertical and a little off the ground, forcing you to shoot upwards. The flattened gameplay works quite well owing to an accurate translation of the controls from the 3D version to the 2D version. Cars handle quite similarly to the original Rocket League game. A slight boost can accelerate you into a position or propel you through the air. And since the 2D approach and vertical goal mean that the majority of the gameplay occurs mid-air, the free and floating physics of Rocket League work extremely well. Though it may seem easy at first sight, the game is deceptively challenging, and there is a learning curve involved in the process before you get a hang of the game. Sideswipe has 3 game modes: duels, which are 1-on-1 matches, duos, which are 2-on-2 matches, and hoops. Hoops bring in the alternate mode which allows you to play basketball with cars, requiring you to drop the ball into a goal from above. This variation in gameplay makes it even more dynamic. The 3 different gameplays make the game fresh and exciting for a long period of time, and the short 2 minutes per match duration is sure to make you gravitate towards the game whenever you have a few minutes to spare. The look and feel of the game is quite nice too. The cars are shiny, the animations do a great job, and the sound effects and licensed music that plays in the background adds to the sporty feel of the game. You get a few options to customize your car as well. Rocket League Sideswipe has had a heart racing just like the original version of the game. Our verdict is that it's an extremely fun game and is sure to keep your attention for a while. The game is free to download both on the App Store and the Play Store, so be sure to check it out.
That then is the Cell Guru Show for this week. Lots and lots of things to show you, and I've got some great stuff already set for next week. So do join me right back here, Rajiv Makhni, on the Cell Guru Show.